Welcome to the Lex and Cash podcast, boys. Today we got a really good one. We cover three things that are important. One is, what are we going to do for Black Friday and Cyber Monday? That could probably use in Christmas if you do it right. Second, Marcus's 7-figure writing strategies. And third, which day of the week is best if you want high engagement? Enjoy. This is our silver podcast, Summer 25. Very romantic.
Very romantic.
All right, we got some stuff today. I think it's going to be cool. Thank you for tagging me on that post. We can start with that. You said some of the best advice I've given you, so very kindly, thank you. People just want dopamine, man. People just want dopamine. I'll give you an example of this. I had a training that I wanted to post. It was how to reduce your no-shows. And it kind of bombed, didn't do well. And people didn't like it, but then I changed kind of the wrapping, not the gift. So I offered the same thing, which was an integration of emails and text and calendar questions that reduce your no-shows. But I called it the Calendly kit. It's just a kit that you copy, paste, and it just works. It's a kit. You just plug it into your business and it works. And it got way better responses. People actually did like it a lot because I feel like that kind of gives you a little bit of dopamine as in this just plugs. I feel like people do just want dopamine. And when you frame your stuff as a magic pill, because magic pills sell in large numbers, it is a little tweak in your marketing and you don't have to change anything about the product, but you just frame it as a magic pill. It hits.
Yeah. The reason it came up for me too is I was thinking this very much was in terms of retention. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, I could guarantee that even as an agency or even a coach, right? For you, let's say you're a coach and you have a 2K a month plan, right? 6 months. If you get a result for that client on the day after they pay that invoice and then nothing for 29 days, and then they have to pay that second 2,000, they'll have far more regret than if they got that to that sale 29 days in right before the next payment, because they're going to be in high spirits by the time the next invoice comes. But it's the same result. And it's the same with an agency. It's if you get all the results on a Monday, but then you go into the weekend with 3 days just blanking, no results, your client's going to feel a little bit of remorse going into the weekend. But if you get all the results, you actually could get less results, but on a Friday, and they'll go into the weekend super high spirits. Let's go. We got momentum. It's just bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Does that mean sometimes maybe, I don't know if I'm kind of putting a spotlight on this, but does that mean that sometimes you delay a little bit of the results so that it'll be in the end?
Well, that's the thing is I can't delay the results, but I just noticed that if we have a slow week and then we just pop off on Friday, they would be so much happier than if we have an even week and had double the results. I'm just I wish I could only put bangers on a Friday and just, it's in my mind, I'm maybe we should save the best thread for Friday. It's a good idea for retention.
Maybe, I don't know. But, and I have a technical question on that. Do you find that your engagement is way better in certain days of the week? My engagement pops on Wednesdays. I find that Wednesdays are actually quite good for me.
Yeah, me too. I've always said that Wednesday is the best day of the week for content. It's why I used to do my auto DMs only on Wednesdays when I was first starting. I would only do Wednesday auto DMs because I just feel everybody's in the mix. There's no way that they're lagging from the weekend on a Monday or a long weekend, and there's no way they're in weekend mode by Friday. So it's just right in the middle. Everybody works. There's nobody in the world who's Wednesday's my day off, right? I feel like everybody works Wednesdays. So
yeah, okay.
That's the day I think is the best for engagement.
In that case, I want to call people out because, bro, I send out emails on Saturdays and Sundays. Open rate is atrocious, and people just don't do anything. So all these entrepreneurs that say, I don't take weekends off. You do. You probably do. I people just don't respond to that kind of stuff.
Well, that's another good point. My newsletter has been going out on Wednesdays for the last year. The birdhouse.email is every Wednesday morning.
You have a newsletter? I thought you didn't.
Yeah, I have a newsletter, a weekly newsletter. By the way, I'm having I hate email. My new thing is I cannot stand emails, and this might be controversial. I'm bearish on newsletters now because for me, I just can't read them. I cannot digest an email the same way I digest. I love video, and I know this is to the consumer. Some people just like to read, some people like to watch. I love video content. I cannot read newsletters. I just can't. It's just something with it. So everyone's bullish on newsletter companies. I'm more bullish on having a newsletter with a different company. I almost said a real company. And then I think a newsletter only company, I'm bearish on that personally. That's my hot take.
Maybe if you don't like it, then maybe you shouldn't. Dan had the Danco interview just came out, and he said something that I thought was really interesting. He said, I create short form content, but all of my content tends to be very long form because that filters short form people. And Dan, we talked about this last time, but he has the rarest personality type in the world. That's like 1 point something percent of the population. And still, the highest personality type percentage on his group is that one, is the rarest. So I feel like maybe if you don't want to do it, you shouldn't, because then it would attract people that are not kind of like you know. So maybe your thing is different. Maybe a Facebook group with videos could slap for you. I don't know. Maybe YouTube could slap for you.
Well, my logic is that if I'm going to get people for marketing on X, should I not just be doing all my marketing on X? Doesn't that makes a little sense?
I mean, oh yeah, it does make sense. But by the way, have you seen anyone use the X communities feature successfully? I know it's there, but I haven't seen anyone use it.
I don't like that feature personally. Funny enough, the statistics show that the usage is actually trending up. More people are using the communities feature, but in my opinion, I think people are using the communities feature because they kind of don't like the algorithm and it's their way of curating. I personally don't like it or use it, but the stats show that it's a good feature.
Well, maybe that's a good one for you, you know? Because when we had the community, you were really active and you knew how to get people hyped up. I don't know, like right now, I'll tell you one change that I did with Instagram and YouTube. I actually scaled down. I don't post that many shorts because I realized this is just not how I consume my content. Like personally, bro, I don't watch videos like that many. The only videos I watch are like anime stuff and like music. But I don't watch like how-to videos because I just don't enjoy it that much. But I do listen to podcasts. And if you check the channel, there's more podcasts now. I haven't recorded like a proper YouTube video in a while. And maybe that's okay. You know, just do the platform that works for you. You don't have to do a newsletter. And if you hate it, don't do it.
That's fair. Like, I mean, when I consume, I'm mostly consuming entertainment. But I think for me, I think we talked about this on a past pod, is I think consuming more creative content, anime, movies, podcasts, that stuff usually inspires me more to create content than if like watching how-to stuff and like very educational stuff doesn't really inspire me to make anything. So maybe that's part of it.
When I was in Austin, bro, Dakota, such a maniac, bro. Like he would never stop. Dakota would work 4 hours in the sun, by the way, because like, he's Canadian. He doesn't get sun, for God, you know. So he would just stay there for 4 hours in the sun working, and then he'd come back home. While he was eating, he would watch a how-to YouTube video. He just never stopped consuming or doing anything related to work. Or maybe I get it wrong, but to me, watching him do that kind of stuff while I was watching Dragon Ball Z, I was like, man, how do you do that kind of stuff? But some people just can't do that. And do the one that's more true to you. Like, this is why. Have you ever seen these talking head videos, bro? And they look like they're being kidnapped.
Yeah.
Like they're being forced to record this kind of stuff. I don't like that. Like, I think that kind of makes you look really bad because it's just not your natural thing. It's not that maybe you're not good at it. Maybe you are. But if it's not natural to you, people are going to feel it. Do whatever's natural to you.
I just saw Julia sent me a video of Layla Hormozy, and Layla was like, I don't consume anything. She consumes nothing. And she says, because I don't consume anything, I don't know what's working. And because I don't know what's working, I'm usually just making whatever I think I want to make. And it's kind of an advantage. But I responded famously. I was like, funny. I was just like, I can't do that. I run a content marketing agency. I need to know what works, Layla. Like, I can't do that. If I just make what I like, my clients are going to leave. So it's definitely an archetype.
Yeah, it's the fine line between being an artist and a bum. You want to be an artist, not a bum. So like, you got to understand what works.
Yeah, well, I like consuming. I mean, I think everybody's different. I think that kind of speaks to why you're probably good at writing daily emails. Is like you kind of just consume the long stuff and you're able to like quickly write what inspired you that day. I think it's a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with your personality type. By the way, what is Dan Coe's?
It's INFJ.
I have a writer on my team that's INFJ as well.
Oh, there you go. Ask him if he's in the Dan Coe community.
He probably was.
He probably is, yeah, at this point. All right, let's see. What else we got here? Attack on Titan finale. We can talk about it, the Attack on Titan, but we'll do it at the end for the OGs of the pod.
For the OGs, stay to the end.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to talk about anime, boys. I want to talk about this one. Environment is important. Benefits of Poland and Miami, first world cities, versus Guatemala and Bali, third world countries. Can you elaborate on this?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I didn't actually realize until I sat down to think of what to talk about, and I was like, "Well, you are in a first world city. You're in Europe, and I'm in a first world city, Miami, in the U.S. But we both were living in third world countries prior. I don't know if you lived in like the city in Guatemala, but third world country regardless.
They're well, like it's a big town. Guatemala City is not a city; it's a big town.
Yeah, and for me, there's definitely I thought there was pros and cons. For you might just be like it was all cons. But for me, I think it was interesting. I think the environment has a couple of things. I think from a lifestyle perspective, I felt a little bit more like I could just do whatever the fuck I want in Bali. Like I could just go outside, get on the scooter, shirtless, barefoot, and just go for 30
I mean,
minutes.
you were living pretty good there. How much were you spending?
Probably like I was spending normal money. I was spending like $5,000 a month with rent and everything. Like rent.
So
food.
what does 5K bought you?
Yeah, $5,000 a month in Bali is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom villa with a pool, cleaners and all. Eating out every single meal, including like ordering coffees, delivery, all of that stuff as well. That's also like multiple massages per week and like nice dinners. It's like pretty OP.
You ordered coffee?
Oh, like every morning at 6 a.m. I would order delivery coffee. It was two like iced lattes delivered doorstep for like $7.
Bro, you can't do it on your villa?
We literally did not use the kitchen. We used the kitchen the first day, and we had like a mental breakdown because it was just like not a real kitchen. It was like a kitchenette, and it was so hot, and none of this stuff worked. And we were like, "Are we really gonna buy appliances for like 5 months?" So we're like, "Nope, we're just gonna order everything." So we ordered everything for 6 months. It was honestly pretty sick.
Dude, that's you realize that's not a 5K a month lifestyle. That's actually way higher
That's like a 20K a month US lifestyle.
Yeah, okay. So if you did that in Miami, how much would you be spending? You think 20?
If we did that in Miami with the cleaners, and yeah, we would easily spend like at least 10, but probably closer, depending where you eat, like 15, 20.
Yeah. Last time you remember you were like, "Hey, I'm getting a haircut." And you're like, "What was it, like $70?"
Yeah, that's like a Miami thing. It was like $70. I also go to this guy. He's like, I've cut Mike Tyson before. I'm like, all right, well, I accidentally like stumbled into a celebrity barber. So
Wait, hold on. Wasn't Mike Tyson bald? I think you get you get scammed, bro.
it was an old haircut, and I think it was the BMI.
No, bro, you got scammed. Mike Tyson was bald. Hey, bro, I can cut your hair next time, okay? And then, holy shit.
I got snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
He's like, I cut Jeff Bezos, Mike Tyson, The Rock.
You get scammed, bro. No other way to say it.
But I do think there's benefits of the city, at least here. Like I like being surrounded. Like when we go into our parking garage, there's like 3 McLarens, a Ferrari, and like Lambo. And it's not like I like that stuff. I don't actually want those cars, but it's knowing that I'm not like a big fish in a small pond, and it's more like a small fish in a big pond. It's kind of nice. Like it's a little bit more motivating. Where in Bali, it's like I could do 2 hours of work and then be like, we're good. Top of the world.
Yeah.
Here, I'm like a nobody here, which is fine with me. Like I prefer that. So I think the environment is interesting. I also missed, oh my God, walkable city. I needed that. And I love it.
You got the steps up? My average right here is like 15K a day. It's actually really nice, and I don't feel it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's nice here, and I like being able to like you walk to my coffees, and I love the weather. By the way, I mean, I know. What do you think about it? Because I know you were in Guatemala for a long time, and then you've been to Poland multiple times, so you must like Poland a lot. So I want to hear what you think on it.
Yeah, it's the culture, bro. The architecture. But I don't know, man. I feel like Guatemala was really cool, but it is best, in my opinion, if you treat it kind of like seasons. Scott Galloway has a phrase, America is the best place to make money, Europe is the best place to spend it. So I don't really like staying in one home base for a long time. I like moving around depending on what kind of season it is. So for example, I only had spring through my entire life until 22. But now I kind of understand the seasons. So summer is really intense. So I will work a lot. Fall is actually pretty chill. Winter is more of a planning phase, and spring is more for planting the seeds so you won't suffer in summer. Because you and I and your clients and a lot of people listening to this, we run education businesses, and summer tends to be kind of shitty for education businesses. So if you can treat it kind of like seasons like that, spring is a place to plant the seeds, summer is to grind, fall is to like kind of reap the rewards of what you've sown. Right now, I'm actually quite rested, and winter is kind of when you plan. It's a fun, it's a fun thing, and if you prime your environment for that, it's quite helpful.
Yo, all right. So Riverside exploded, but we're back. So I actually have my friend. I've mentioned him a couple times on the pod. My friend Don Ball. He runs an education business, but he is also like a day trader. He's really good. But he always plans his years similar to that, where he does the first 9 months of the year. So he does it in quarters. Quarters 1 through 3 is like his sprint, where he'll just go all out, stream 5 days a week, nonstop. Like he goes hard. And then quarter 4, he'll actually lower down his risk on his day trading, and he'll lower down like the amount of streams he does, and he'll slowly slow down in the winter months. He'll go to vacation. He loves to go to Turks and Caicos. He'll go on vacation. So he uses quarter 4 as his reset, and he does like 9-month sprint. So he'll sprint for 3 quarters straight, and then quarter 4 he'll tone it down, which I thought was interesting. It's similar to what you do. For me, it's like November. Usually November. The problem with how I do it too is November is usually a really good month for education sales, like especially with Black Friday, and you got even Amazon and e-com does really well in November. Everything goes hard in November. So for me, it's like December will be a little bit of a slowdown, whereas November is just like sprint hard.
Should we cover our Black Friday, Cyber Monday strategies on this pod? Well, but next pod's gonna be like on the Monday before. I'll share some of my Black Friday stuff. I think it's gonna be interesting. Okay, so I had a come to Jesus moment for my Black Friday sale because I believe a lot in reason why marketing. A reason why marketing is your offer could work, but you're just not giving people a reason to do it now. So I have a wait list, and the reason why is the offer is going to be kind of the same every time, maybe some tweaks, but it's like, hey, we got limited spots. This is why you should act now, because the power goes to whoever is more scarce, either demand or supply. A lot of coaches don't get clients because their supply isn't limited. So if you don't buy today, they know you will still be there tomorrow. So it's like there's no reason to buy today. You know what I mean? So I'm big on giving people reasons why. For the next 5 people, you'll get a bonus one-on-one call. For the next, we're gonna close spots when we hit 10. I have one that I have some people on the wait list. Sometimes I'll message them and say, hey, Marcos, one spot opened up for Legs and Cash, and I think we could do great things together. And tomorrow I'm going to email the rest of the waitlist members. But would you like in before I do? And then it's like, oh, like there's a reason why. There's a timing. So I had my come to Jesus moment, and I figured out what is my reason why. So over the years, last year actually, I've never sold anything low ticket. Very few things, and if I did, it was kind of not a big deal. But now I thought we're gonna make it a big deal. And I learned this from Alchemy. It's a book by Rory Sutherland. Now, Alchemy shows how little things can make up for huge changes in perception. For example, Tesla. Tesla has the seats of vegan leather. It's plastic, bro. But they call it vegan leather because then it's like, oh, so cool, right? It sounds so much different. The watch I bought is the Omega Speedmaster. I don't wear watches. Like, you never see me with a watch. But it's because it's the first watch that went to the moon. And the story was so nice. Like, they made alchemy, just transforming materials into another stuff. And we can talk about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood by the time we're done in this podcast, if you'd like. But alchemy is important. So I thought, what can I steal? I'm going to be in Korea, so I can really do a live workshop. And I didn't really have time to create a course or a product. So I thought, what if I pair up my 3 most, because I do run some workshops, my 3 most popular workshops, which is get leads, create an offer, and likes and cash, grow your account. And I pair them up together, and I could say bundle, but bundle sounds kind of lame. And after getting into the alchemy kind of world, I thought, okay, let's create something completely new. So now the reason why and the alchemy that I apply to this one is, guys, I've had a change of heart. I've only sold high ticket and very expensive stuff for the longest time, but I've realized how much the shitty advice is hurting you. And now I want to help you, which is why I'm releasing now a low ticket product called Your First 10K. The 3 main things you need to make your first 10K online as a coach or as a consultant. It's a recording, bro. It's 3 recordings. But when you include alchemy into the mix, it has a certain like magic to it. It's cool to implement that.
I love it. I love it. Is Omega Speedmaster, I can't get over this. Is Omega Speedmaster really the first launch of the moon?
Well, the moon landing didn't happen, so it's not. to answer your question.
You're like, yeah, this is my entire strategy. I'm like, by the way, dude, the moon.
You just cool story broed me.
We're like the same. We're like the same with the whole watch thing. I talk about it often behind closed doors. I'm like, I don't really love watches, and I feel like I keep getting pilled by social media to like watches. I only like them when they have the story, and I didn't know. I want that one now. So I need you to send me your watch. Give me it,
bro. Have you read the Omega Speedmaster ad?
No.
Have you ever seen this?
You showed the one with is it the one with the water?
No, that is the Seamaster.
Seamaster, gotcha.
Yeah. So let me show you. Okay, we're gonna cover my favorite ad of all time, fellas. I'm gonna read it to you. This might be like a 1-2 minute read, but let's get it. This is the ad that made me buy an $8,000 watch because it was so elegant. Not only the ad, but actually, I kind of wanted to flex at the moment. But everybody has, like quoting the great philosopher Hannah Montana, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. So we're gonna go on with the ad. How can a man in a $27,000 suit settle for a $235 watch? The Apollo-Soyuz spacesuits, like those for every preceding space mission, were designed specially for the job. Not surprising either, you'd hardly expect to find the equipment for the flight through race to space to this historic America-Russia meeting ready invented in the shops. Yet that's how the astronauts found the Omega Speedmaster, their watch. In 1965, NASA picked up a Speedmaster, as simply as you do in your local jewelry shop. And they made it standard flight equipment for every astronaut. Because unlike any other chronograph tested, whatever NASA did to the Speedmaster, it stood up. If you're wearing an Omega Speedmaster, you can be proud of it. Numerous space missions, 6 moon landings, and now, almost unbelievably, America and Russia together. For any other watch, the shock would be too much.
That's awesome.
That is beautiful. That is incredible.
Do you have it with you?
No, not right now.
All right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's fake. I rented it. So I'm a faker. Sorry.
It's exposed. I want to do an exercise. So this was in the Alex Ramosi tweet that I thought was actually really cool, and I want to do it. Okay, so here's the tweet. Rogan talks about aliens, comedy, fighting, politics, and biohacking. The Rock has WWE, movies, football, fitness, tequila. Alex said, I like business, philosophy, fitness, comedy, and utilitarianism. You don't pick your niche, you are your niche. What are yours? It's all you to give your list, and I'll give my list, and I'll give you.
Okay, mine is autism, writing, money, and self-reliance. I'll tell that. And a lot of Apple Watch hate.
And Eastern European maximalism.
Yes, I love Eastern Europe. I'll tell you that much. Okay, because it is true. You don't tailor yourself to a market. You tailor a market to you. We can get into that later. But what's yours?
I think mine is like X. Content maximalism, because I think everybody shits on content consumption. I love it. Content maximalism, probably soccer, probably anime, and probably like education, because I probably talk about. It's funny. It's interesting that now that I list it out, there's more about things that aren't business related than there are business, and I think that says something. I think that's also okay. I think it's interesting, and I think about this with Alex Becker too, because he does it. Alex Becker's, and I'll just list it for him. It's like anime, gaming, crypto, and then it's like software, and then it's like biohacking
too. He's like Jack.
And biohacking, like he's like life. So it's like all of his content is nothing related to Hyros, his $100 million company, and then he does like crypto. Like it's funny but his Hyros grew because of his personal brand. So it's interesting. So you can build your personal brand around like 80% things that aren't even related to the product you sell, because people are buying you for you and maybe not just the product. So it's interesting.
1,000%, bro. People buy coaches, not coaching. Like people buy you the way you are. And oh my God, I had a good point on this, but oh yeah, we overestimate what people will find interesting. The other day I had a coaching call and only one dude showed up because it was an Euro-Asia call, right? And it's like, okay, Robert, what do you want to do? He's like, I can't talk right now. I'm just here for the whatever, just talk. I'm like, okay, Rob, I can go over your content and give you feedback, or I can share my screen and just work, and you can see what I'm doing. He's like, bro, share your screen. Let's go. So I just shared my screen and I just started working, right, for an hour. Like I did what I was going to do anyway. And in the end, he said, that was a great call. Thank you so much. I didn't speak. Bro, I didn't speak. But he was like, this was excellent. So we overestimate what people will find interesting. When we talk about anime and fades, and we throw shit around.
Yeah.
People love it.
Well, that's why I like doing the pod. It's like the pod doesn't necessarily get me direct income. Like, I don't get paid to do this. Do you? We don't. Are you getting paid?
Bro, we get paid to do this. Like,
Are you seeing
this does get deals.
Have you seen Where the Millers? The movie?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you're getting paid.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
My point. Well, what was my point?
You love doing the podcast because we do many things and we talk about whatever.
I got it. So something, and I don't do this often, but I'm gonna give like some hardcore alpha. Something we ask clients when we're onboarding them is we want to know what their hot takes are. We want to know, like, what is your opinion on this? I want to know, what is your controversial opinion that's going to get you canceled? So it's funny. It's this. You can relate this to. Have you ever? You might probably haven't, but it's the show. It's a presidential show on Netflix, and it's
House of Cards.
I think it's House of Cards, or the other one where like the White House blows up. One of the others. Anyways, they're bringing on a new candidate, and it is House of Cards. They're bringing on a new candidate, and they're asking him what are all your dark secrets? Like, what can people cancel you for? What is like, what's your skeleton in the closet? Like, tell me, like, we want to know what the worst thing that could possibly come up, because your competition's got to find it and they're going to use it. It's similar to that. I'm like, what are your dark opinions? Like, what could probably get you canceled? What's gray area? What's borderline? What do you really hate? What do you dislike? We ask those things at onboarding because we're going to push the boundaries, especially as we warm up a little bit. Like, what can we tweet out that's going to cause some real, you know what I mean? And Ty Lopez said it on the Fresh and Fit podcast. He said, if you don't have at least 20% haters, you're doing something wrong with your personal brand. It needs to be 80-20. It should not be 100% of people like you. You need 20% of your audience to not like you, or 20% of the people seeing your content to not like you, or else you're not going to be as big as everyone else. But if you go too far, like Donald Trump, if you go 50-50, you get indicted. And people are like, you're going to prison, bro. Don't have too many haters because they'll take you down. But 80-20 is the good fit. So this is like a personal branding masterclass. So I'm curious what you think of all that.
No, before that, mandatory question. Marcos, what are your dark secrets? What are the things that could get you canceled? Mandatory question.
All right. So this is, I've slowly been trying to like let this out onto social media, but I think you have to have kids. I think so. I just tweeted this like an hour ago. Biologically, if as a human, you have to have kids to reproduce, right? So you as a human, your biological purpose is to keep your species alive. So if you don't want kids, is that mental illness?
Hard.
Is it not?
I don't know, man. Like,
the logic checks out. So this is my new thing, is until someone can give me like a counter argument, I think it might be a mental illness to not want kids. JK's like, I am mentally ill.
No, I do want kids. No, I do want kids. Yeah. I've actually been thinking about this, but we'll talk more about this after the pod.
Oh, what? And you made me talk about all that.
No, not about the kids thing. No, I do want kids. I'll tell you that much. Like, I do want kids. But to be fair, bro, yes, lay out your controversial opinions. Remember the racism podcast? That got great feedback, bro. It's got 1K views. People loved it.
Well, this is also part of my bull case on X. And my mentor told me, he's like, this is a whole segment. More alpha. This is way too much alpha. We're going to have to cut the pod. So my mentor was like, you should expand to LinkedIn, and you should do Twitter plus LinkedIn. And I'm like, I know I could do LinkedIn and charge a little more and like kind of have two platforms unlocked. But for me, you kind of, every time you build a business, you pretty much just put your eggs in a basket, and you have to have risk, right? Everybody makes their bets, really. When you make a business, you make a bet. So for me, my bet is just that X is going to be the end all be all. It's going to be the app. And part of that is because you're not going to get your account deleted for saying your opinion. It's the only app I would actually go out and go crazy, because every other app you're going to get censored. So that's part of my bull case. But he did tell me, he's like, you should go to LinkedIn. I think for me, is like, I can get twice as much feedback if I just double down on X. I can get better at the platform twice as fast as everybody else if I don't expand, and all of my competition expanded. Everyone. I don't know anyone that didn't expand at over time before quitting. Most of them quit.
Yeah, I think that's solid. I think that's a good move. Like, Rickson Gracie has a great quote. He's arguably the best fighter of all time. Nothing is 100% positive or 100% negative. So when you said that to me, I thought, but bro, you could just copy and paste it into LinkedIn. It's not that hard. But there's also a downside to it. The other day, someone asked me, JK, should I do Instagram and LinkedIn? And should I focus on these many platforms? And I thought, like, what are my most useful mental models? that I have is, as entrepreneurs, we have three resources. We have money, which is the least valuable, time, which is more valuable than money, and attention, which is the most valuable one. Where you focus your attention, like you're at the risk of sounding platitude, your mindset creates your reality, right? But if you focus your attention on the wrong things, it's fucked up. So the way I see it is money is bronze, time is silver, and attention is gold. So if you give out bronze and you get gold back, that is a positive trade, which is why paying for an assistant to take care of your stuff, that makes sense because you gave bronze and you get gold back. Now, if you give gold and you get bronze back, there's a certain equivalent where that makes sense, but often not, which is why maybe focusing right now, maybe you focusing on stock trading and investing, wouldn't work so well as you focusing on your business and just making more money. So you can give out gold and get bronze back. It's just not a good trade. So that was the counter argument to your LinkedIn thing, which was, yes, I could do stuff on LinkedIn, but I want to check notifications. I want to see how I'm doing. I'm going to engage with people. People are going to message me there, and then your attention gets split. So to your point is, you could do both, but you give a pretty solid argument on why to focus on one platform. I tell people focus on one platform until you no longer check the prices on the menu.
So I have 2 follow-ups. One follow-up, this is my public cry for help. I think I'm the loyalist X user on the planet. I'm the only X-only marketing agency that's like bigger than like 0. So if you're watching this and you work at X, I want to be flown out to San Francisco. I'll fly out. I just want to be allowed in. And I want to come in and I want to talk to the people who make the ads because I want to be like, how can I maximize this? So if you work at X and you listen to this, which you might, DM me. I want to talk. I want to come to San Francisco and I want to help you guys fix the platform's ads and be great again. MAGA, make ads great again. All right.
On a separate note to this, mini note is, if you go there, and if anybody's listening, I'm willing to pay a lot of money if you get me unbanned from Twitter ads. Please, help me. I've been trying for 2 years now. Help, please. Okay,
All right.
Go on.
Second follow-up is I'm really bad at remembering follow-ups.
Welcome to the Lexi Cash podcast, where we give out a ton of game, and then it just goes to shit at minute 44.
What were we talking about prior?
You had 2 follow-ups: LinkedIn, attention, gold, bronze, silver. And then you said, you fly me out to San Francisco.
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Should we go to the Notion?
It'll hopefully come back. I just like group on the whole audience.
And you've been saying, like, through the entire pod, you're like, this is so much alpha, but okay, I'm going to give it. And then you just don't give.
Yeah, I don't remember.
All right, let's go to the Notion. This is our savior. Okay. All right. Yes, I wanna make a point of everything you want is already inside you. You are already it. Often when I coach people, it's not a learning, it's a lot of unlearning of the bad habits, of the things you thought you had to do, of the things, like, for me, I realized I don't need a closer, I don't need a setter, I don't need an entire sales team. I can just sell with a Google Doc. But I had to unlearn it. I knew that that copy sells, but I just had to unlearn the whole closures thing. And one of the best ways to do this, to find which things you need to unlearn, is actually just consume the astrology equivalent of business, which is the platitude, mindset, and really basic advice. So not often, but lately, I've been reading Cialdini, the influence book, and it's got some basic shit, man. Like, people are more willing to do you favors if you do a favor for them first. You know that, right? Another stuff like people are more willing to buy or comply with what you ask if you give them a reason why. It's like, of course, bro. But when you read this kind of foundationals book, it's interesting. I don't know if you've ever had this. Like, you're struggling with a kind of, let's say, a level from 1 to 10, you struggle with a level 10 problem. But when you listen to the level 1 advice, the level 10 problem gets solved. Have you ever had that? When you go back to the fundamentals and you just re-listen to that podcast that helped you a year ago, you reread that How to Win Friends and Influence People book, it's like, oh, I know the answer because you read the fundamentals. So not a big fan of reading advanced stuff, big fan of reading the astrology equivalent of business.
I always hear people rereading books. I struggle to reread books. It's hard for me to read a book twice. And I think I feel like I'm wasting time. I'm like,
yeah, it's hard to reread books when you don't read books because you don't have anything to reread.
I just started 1984, George Orwell. I'm into this whole fiction now. You know why? Because lately, every time I watch like a show or an anime, I've been watching like Loki, I've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, which we'll get into. I just get like motivated to like create. Just because it's fiction, but it motivates me because like there's always a message, especially with that. The Attack on Titan finale made me want to like change the world. It's like I need to fix everything. But yeah, I actually have a selfish question that I wanted to ask you before we move on to that, because that would be like obviously like our last segment. What is your week in the life, and how do you theme your days? Do you have one day? Do you still have one day for calls? What is your like weekly productivity? Do you just keep blank calendar? I want to hear like what you do to get everything done as a business owner now, as opposed to the past.
Okay, so do you wanna know that now that I'm like kind of in a more, I'm chill because I don't have that much pressure, or do you want to know when I was grinding real hard?
I want to know now, and I want to know like how do you prioritize things? Do you have a journal? I want to know everything.
Okay.
Classic. What's your morning routine, sir?
Yeah, so I wake up at 4 a.m. and I yell fuck, and then I make money. That's what I do. Then I meditate for 3 hours, start working at 4:01. No, what actually happens is okay, let's go. So big believer in fundamentals, because I realized that advanced stuff is just never stopping doing the fundamentals. And I love that you asked me this. We didn't plan this, but I actually have it saved over here because it's something I watch every day. And I actually have it ready. Okay, awesome. So things I do. This is important. And if you're on the YouTube, it might be a good idea to see what I'm doing right now. So every Monday is calls day. So usually I'll tell you what calls I have. I have the Euro call because I have a coaching call for Europe and Asia. And that is only I show up and I answer questions, right? And that could be either mentorship or consulting, which are two different things. Mentorship is showing you like kind of how I would do it. And consulting is just telling you what to do. Could be either of those. Anyway, Euro call, 9 a.m. Then 10 a.m., nothing up until like 4 p.m. because right now I'm in Europe. It will change when I'm back. But group onboarding, so I let people in the program. Then it's my actual coaching call for the American time zone because that's where most of the clients are. Then I have boardroom call, which is kind of the call with higher level people. The call with my assistant, where we kind of get everything done. He asks me questions and I just attack them. And the coaching huddle, which is when we talk to the coaches. That is kind of my Monday, but it's only calls. Now, the most interesting part, because it's very specific to me, the most interesting part that I think is more applicable to you and people listening is what happens on non-call days. Also, the podcast, right? So that usually happens. But non-call days, I'm a big believer in doing the fundamentals right and then operating not as in I have to send this many DMs every day or I have to post this many times every day. I'm more of a fan of, for example, show, not tell every day. Or instead of I have to send this many emails, I do something as improve your competence today. So every day I have 5 things that I need to check. And these 5 things, I find that they're kind of the things that if I keep doing, eventually things are going to work. So it's these 5 things. Number 1, every day I have to deliver for clients. So that is Slack messages, that is a call, recording trainings. 2, every day I need to make an offer, either via email, mostly email. 3, every day I have to promote my list. I got to get people on the list. People sometimes say, you're making too many offers. Well, dude, today, somebody thanked me. They said, oh, thank you for making this offer today. Like I needed it and they bought. I'm like, oh, great. The other day, hey, I'm really happy you're going to release an offer on Black Friday because you let me know about it. Looking forward to it. So for the people who are like, yeah, making offers or like selling is going to hurt your brand, it doesn't. It actually gives people an opportunity to work with you more closely. So make an offer every day. Promote my list every day because the money's in the list. Big believer in that. I know I said you should have started a list, Marcus, but I do like it. So deliver for clients, make an offer, promote my list. 4th thing, show, don't tell. Every day I have to show my solution, not tell my solution. Big mistake I used to do. Join this because it's going to help you do this. Wrong. This helps somebody do this. Join if you want a similar result. Right. You show. And the last thing is having conversations with people. Either they email me and we talk an email and then either I send them a training or a free resource or an offer to work with me more closely. But those are my 5 things. Deliver for clients, make an offer, promote my list, show, don't tell, and having conversations. If I take care of those 5 for that day, I am done. Sometimes things that are simple, like promoting my list, right? That's just plugging something in. That takes 5 seconds. Sometimes delivering for clients means hopping on a call. That takes 2 hours. But as long as these 5 fundamentals are in place, that day I consider a successful day. And these are my lead indicators, and the lag indicators is money. So these 5, that's my list. I wake up at like 8 or 9. I work, coffee, keep working, train, come back, and then I'll do something else and do whatever I want by noon or something.
Okay, 2 follow-ups, and I swear I'll remember Did you see that?
No. What? Oh, you got balloons. Is it your birthday?
It's my sister's birthday. My hands aren't even on the keyboard. This is the weirdest day of Riverside.
Oh, happy birthday, Marcus' sister. Good shit. Oh, by the way, I have these 5 fundamentals here. So
That's what I was going to ask you. One of those follow-ups is, can you send me that? Because I'd love to look at it, maybe iterate.
yeah, so this thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, so this one was I would wrote like, because this was gonna be kind of a hectic week. I wrote my wins of the week, and I keep it on my wallet. So it's easy access to me. When I feel overwhelmed, I just like pull it up. By the way, this is the Dan Cole wallet. He gave this to me. He used to sell wallets, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Do you? This is like more of a nitpick question. Do you schedule your shows, or do you write the show every day, just like your email, in terms of like the content?
Depends. If I don't have anything for that day, then I'd be like, okay, I'll write it and then I send it. But there's some days when you're like kind of in the mojo. So I just write 3 and then I schedule them.
So, yeah, 3. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Wins of the week. Deliver a good workshop. Fundamentals every day. So the fundamentals I just showed you, the 5. Get clients clear on next steps, because I freaked out and we got our highest week ever. And I just sent everybody my one-on-one calendar link because I freaked out. I thought like these guys need to win. So get client clear on next steps. Sell on every touch point. Make an offer every day, and create the offer, which is your first 10K offer. So those are my wins of the week, and I need to check this one out because it's done. So that big fan of lead indicators, because they turn into lag indicators. I don't like goals as in close 1 client this week, because you don't control that, but you control doing the things that lead to that.
Yeah, I like the show don't tell, and I like the wins for the week, and I like this system, because for me, what happens is if I schedule it the week before, I feel like I'm missing some of the wins. Like, for example, we had a win where it's like a client hit 25K followers. And then I had another win like 2 days later where it's like a client had tons of calls booked with less followers than the week before, which is interesting. But I miss those when I go and schedule, because they happened in the past. But I feel like if I just do it during the day and I just have it fresh on my mind, I won't miss as many client wins. That's interesting. It's just a thought of mine, more of this last 10 minutes have been selfish.
Yeah, it's useful to have it, because then you could just be like, oh, by the way, these are like, if you're stressing about losing weight, it's like, okay, eat 2,000 calories today. So, oh, right. If I keep doing this, it's going to work.
Right.
So you don't really need to stress about that. So this lead indicators versus lag indicators, big game changer. I do like it.
I like it a lot. All right. What'd you think? Attack on Titan finale.
I didn't watch it, but we could talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. What episode are you in?
I'm caught up.
Oh, like anime or manga?
Anime.
Oh, okay. Well, last one. Bro, who's the coolest character? And why is it Toji?
Well, I just thought it was, I'm a little bit selfish. I'm like, I wish we got like a reveal now. Like, I wish he found out it was his dad. But, oh, wait, spoilers.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, if we ever, by the way, anyone, if we talk about anime, if you're not cut up, just cut out. Like, this is for people who are like weekly watchers, because you're going to get spoiled like crazy.
Yeah.
This isn't an anime talk show. I'm not going to be like, oh, spoiler alert. So that's just my disclaimer for history. Anyways.
Who's your favorite character?
It's not Toji. I think, yeah, sorry. I like Sukuna. I thought
that guy's sick.
it was so badass. He's like, only 1 knee? You thought 1 knee was enough? And
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Bro, but like 2 weeks ago, you didn't watch Jujutsu Kaisen, or did you?
Because it was like a month ago, because I watched an entire season and a half on the 18-hour flight. So I caught up hardcore. It was pretty easy to catch up. It's only like 20-minute episodes.
Yeah. And it's like quite good, isn't it?
So good. The movie is probably my favorite thing so far, and I need what's his name to come back. The kid from the movie. Once he's back, this whole
Yuta. That's Yuta.
Back from Africa, it's gonna be crazy. You probably are on manga, so you know what happens. But
yeah,
I cannot. I'm an anime. By the way, this is my opinion. I'm an anime only guy because I love the feeling of big reveals with the animation combined. Like, not knowing, like, it's just so cool, and it paid off. With Attack on Titan, because the manga was worse. They actually changed stuff from the manga to the anime because of the backlash, and now the anime was perfect.
Wait, I've only seen the manga, so that means that when I watch the anime, it's going to be different.
In Attack on Titan, the finale, they changed a few of the parts that people didn't like from the manga, which made it like perfection.
Okay, I saw some parts of, like, in YouTube. Sometimes Crunchyroll will upload like some things, and everybody loved it. Like, it's very rare that I see everybody like stuff. Like, in spoilers, One Piece, Luffy has Gear 5. You know what that is?
No, I'm not a One Piece guy.
Yeah, it's like Super Saiyan, the top Super Saiyan, right? But people didn't like it on the manga, on the anime. But like it was weird that everybody loves the anime thing, and everybody did like it. The only part I did see was when Levi cut Zeke's head off. It was like, and it sounds clean, like it's like so nice.
Attack on Titan's the best show at big characters dying with like no build up. They just die. It's like the one show or actually Jujutsu Kaisen did it too in the last episode where they killed off like 3 characters so fast. Just like, and then we're just like, what? I was like, dude.
Bro, it gets worse, bro. Like I'm the typical, but like wait until the manga and the anime cut. Just I'm that guy. I'm that guy. But to be fair, it is incredibly like Shibuya. It is the best arc in my opinion. Like
that's sad. It's gonna be over soon.
Yeah, Shibuya. No, it's not. Yeah, we got a long way to go in Shibuya. Yeah, but Shibuya, in my opinion, is the best arc. After that, it gets a little bit like kind of slow. But you're watching Jujutsu Kaisen at its, in my opinion, at its peak. It's like watching Naruto when just Akatsuki just came up, kind of like that.
All right, don't spoil it for me. But all I'm gonna say is if Full Power 20 Finger Sukuna fights Gojo Full Power at any point in this series, I'll probably start throwing up. Can't watch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it is beautiful. It is a beautiful thing. I hate spoilers. Like, and me, I say this as I'm spoiling people, but when people do it to me and they think it's funny, like I hold grudges. Like at that point, I hold grudges. Can I tell you one grudge that I hold?
I have them too. We could finish with that. So
okay, we'll finish with that, man. This is petty. So, at school, high school, we used to play this game called Clash Royale. Have you ever played Clash Royale?
I was a Clash of Clans guy, but yeah, I'm old.
Me too. Like I used to play Clash of Clans too, but you know when the biggest town hall was 10, you know, the OGs, the level with the lava thing. Anyway, we had Clash Royale, which is basically you can play against someone else 1-on-1, 1v1. You couldn't do that in Clash of Clans. That just wasn't a thing. Or like your friends, you couldn't. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm better than you. Like there was no way to see it. Right now, you can actually.
We'll see in a week when I'm upgraded.
Yeah. And then it's like somebody buys gems, and you're like, you fucking cheater.
Yeah,
you bought gems. What the hell's wrong with you?
Mom's credit card.
Yeah. Rich kids. Okay, Clash Royale. There was this guy, and I still hate to admit it. And he, you know, he sometimes. Anyway, he beat me really hard. And I was the second best in school in Clash Royale. That guy was the first, but I hate saying it because I'm like, I beat him sometimes though. I did. But it's, okay. He beat me. And often, but he was so good at trash talking. Every time he would beat me, he would say stuff like, hey, JK, like, it's okay to be shit. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. Right? Yeah, no, he didn't. He said it in English. Yeah, because that made it even more insulting. It's like, can you even like speak your own language to me, bro? What the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, it has been 7 years, and I still hold grudges with him because I found out that his mom has the same birthday as me. So every day for the past 7 years, on my birthday, before I even check my own mom's message, I send Douglas a message. Hey, Douglas, tell your mom happy birthday from me. Every day for the past 7 years, that's been my birthday morning tradition. And I still haven't missed a single birthday because fuck that guy, man. I hated that.
This is going to be your deathbed regret.
But he takes it cool, though. He says, happy birthday to you, bro.
All right, last one. Have you seen Breaking Bad, and do you plan on watching it?
I have watched it.
Okay, cool. You finished it.
Yeah, I loved it.
All right, so I was halfway through. I had not finished it at this point, and this was when I was still in the Army. And we were doing an exercise, and we were in basically a secret talk, which is just you have to leave your phones outside because you're not allowed your phone for classified information. So we would play 21 questions to keep ourselves entertained. And the 21 questions for this one, it was a person. And 21 questions, like I'm thinking of a person, and then you ask questions, you try to figure it out. Someone asks, is this person dead? They go, yeah. And then someone goes, and this was like one of the last questions, someone goes, Walter White. And I was like, oh. I was on like season 4. I was so deep. This was my downloaded show for the entire exercise. Like this was about watching all day, every day. And they were like, is he dead? Walter White. And I'm like halfway through the show, peak curiosity. I love it. And I found out that he dies, and I never watched it again to this day. Still have. I will
You
not.
didn't finish it?
Nope. And I'm not.
What's
going
wrong with you? No.
Show is trash. Trash in my mind.
Bro, and season 4 is so good because that's like where it's Walter White versus Gus Fring. That's
And
season
he
4's theme.
meets Gus at the chicken shop, and his voice changes, and it's like everything's getting so deep, and I'm just like, this is so good. He's cooking in his factory and everything. I'm just like, this is awesome. And then I find out he dies, and I'm like, well, I don't want to watch it. That's my thing. I can't watch shows when I know the ending.
Well, wait, how do you avoid all these spoilers? How do you avoid the Attack on Titan spoilers? How do you avoid the Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers?
I don't read comment sections because, and it's harder for me too because Attack on Titan was easy since there was so much space between every season. Is like you forgot if I read a spoiler. But I watch like anime reactors on YouTube because I'm like, I'm gonna watch what they have reacted. It's just like my weird thing. I don't read comments because there's always the people in the comments or just like, well, wait till you see this. It's like that you're that guy. It's like wait till you see when this happens. So can't read comment sections. And I don't search it on Twitter unless I know there's no spoilers. So like I would never search Boruto on Twitter because I actually watch that and I don't want to see any manga readers because they always spoil.
You watch Boruto?
All right, relax. Boruto's pretty good. If you just ignore the filler, it's pretty good.
Okay, well, that's all Naruto. If you ignore the filler, like the thing about Naruto is, ignore the filler. We didn't talk about the filler, but it was so good. Like the build-up, it's just getting better after. Like first season, great. Chunin exams, great. Sasuke leaves the village, great. And then it's like a huge, like 100 episodes spree of filler for some reason.
Yeah.
Jiraiya arc, great. And then Akatsuki, better. Pain was the best, and then it falls through.
Well, I'm watching people react to Naruto now, and luckily they have the sites that will tell you what to watch, and they tell you which episodes to skip, which I think, as a kid, like I used to watch it every week, it was easy to watch filler because I was a kid. Nowadays, I would never watch fillers. It's like just
no.
Bump the filler. You can go on.
There's only one good filler in Naruto. Do you know what that is? One good episode of filler.
I saw it. It was in OG Naruto, right? I think I just
because it's in OG Naruto. Yeah.
I saw it because I just saw it on YouTube. Can you remind me?
It's the one where they want to see what's behind Kakashi's
mask.
mask.
Kakashi's mask and the
yeah. That was actually good.
And he looks just like Gojo.
He does look like Gojo.
Gojo looks like him. Well, let's relax a little bit.
Yeah. Credit to the OG, right? But bro, Toji is the coolest character. You need to admit this.
Itachi got killed by the plot. We all know. Everyone knows that Itachi would have been the strongest, but it's fine. I'm fine.
Would he though?
I think so. If he had Eternal, it'd be pretty insane.
I never understood the Sharingan much. I didn't like Genjutsu users. I like Taijutsu users. Like one that could just throw hands. I like that.
I definitely Naruto like kind of paved the way for what not to do with like power scaling because it was just like Jujutsu Kaisen does it great. But they learned from Naruto. Like Naruto didn't have anyone to learn from. Like by the end of the show, nobody uses Genjutsu. It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, because if I tell you, I'm going to spoil you. Anyway, that was the pod. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
This was a great pod. This was the best pod we've ever had. I enjoyed this, especially the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, OGs love this one.
Exactly. Sayonara.